what you do when you're not thinking. I'd be a damn fool if I let you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and love and blessings. And man, oh man, yo, you know, when you talk about inspiring things, when you talk about positive energy, when you talk about people that you look at them and you go like, wow, I already have a good day. I have a better day just by what they bring out to the world. And they happen to be authentic and real. This brother right here impacted many people and impacted me personally. I go through some tough times, sometimes, and just watching his content throughout, whether it's on Instagram, sometimes TikTok. Yes, I am on TikTok. And it's just been a blessing. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's put our hand together for Anis and good luck. Salam, bro. How are you?
Hey, listen, first of all, shout out to Big Hass for having me on here, man. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be on your show. You are the king of the culture. And so, everything you do for the culture, everybody who knows anything about the culture knows who you are and reveres your name. So it's a privilege to be here with you.
Yo, my brother, man, blessings. I think salute to you, man. Your work. I mean, I had the pleasure to have you on Revolt. I think your work is, like I always ask you this, even in our, DMs, like what's the secret? Like there's so much positivity, although we're going to talk about it. You've been through a tough time last year and you were able, alhamdulillah, to pass through that. We'll get into that. But where is that coming from? Like, where's the source of that energy?
Man. It's so hard to answer because, some days it's something different. But I think if I were to boil it down, it's my faith, man. I just believe that life is good. And I believe that humans are good. And I believe that I can do whatever, I can do anything. And so, waking up every day with that optimistic mentality, I think is pivotal to being able to stay positive. Because, there's going to be days where life throws you curveballs. And
how do you deal with those? Because I'm pretty sure you wake up sometimes feeling that.
Yeah, for sure. And, people see social media, they see what I share. So I don't always share those down moments. And maybe one big reason why I don't always share those down moments is because I don't want to bring people down with me. But sometimes I do share those down moments just to let people know that, it's not always sunshine and daisies with me. I do have my moments of darkness. I do have my moments of doubt. I do have my moments of struggle. Mental health, especially, is a every moment battle. But I think when those bad moments come, you have to fight them. You have to fight them head on. You can't run from them, because if you run from your bad moments, then you end up running down a trail with a bunch of bad moments behind you. You have to battle them, because I think we're all strong enough, even if we don't realize it, to combat negativity with gratitude.
Wow. So you use music obviously to combat that. What's the role of music in all of this? Like you give music so much part of your life, and it's incredible watching you, kind of also evolve and get into, you release singles after singles and stuff like that. Get into that as well. You were able to build that incredible fan base. What's the role of music?
Music is healing and music is therapy. And music has been healing and therapy long before I ever existed, and it will be long after I fade from one life to the next. I think I found healing in Lauryn Hill's music. I found therapy in India Ari's music. I find that music has the power to restore your soul. It's a very spiritual experience. And so, for me, especially when I was going through tough times, not just this past year, but in other times in my life, I leaned on music to carry me. So, yeah.
Do you think it will ever let you down?
No, I don't think it's possible.
Amazing.
I don't think it's possible because I think I could only ever let myself down.
Amazing. When we talked on Revolt, you did say, you mentioned a lot of rappers' names from Nas to a few that inspired you, but you mentioned Khalil Gibran as well. Obviously, you're in Palestine, Lebanon. Tell me about your passion, to read Khalil Gibran. What does he mean to you? How does his kind of mind resonate with the kind of music that you do?
So I think, growing up, I was always surrounded by poetry and by literature. My parents kept the house full of it, especially Khalil Gibran's work. And just this past year, for the first time, I read The Prophet on my own, not just a quote here on Instagram or that, but really read it and annotated it. I wish I had it next to me. I would pull it out and look at my annotations. But, I think what I found in Khalil Gibran's work that was so inspiring to me as not just an artist, not just a songwriter, but just as a human and as a believer, is that what he wrote was so true in my life. In every chapter, there were pearls of wisdom that had applicability in my life, even though, hundreds of years apart and two humans will never meet. And I think that that's the beauty that I find in poetry, and the beauty that, God willing, it could be in my music, is that you can impact someone you will never meet because of the timelessness of a message that is authentic.
Wow.
And I think that's what's true about Khalil Gibran's work, is that, there's a lot of people who are more popular, and there's a lot of people who, popularity doesn't make you immortal. I think nothing can make you immortal, but the closest you can be is to have a timeless message. And I think Khalil Gibran's message was timeless.
Love that. From Neverland Fly to Slip, what is the evolution of Anis right now? Because we've seen you, even the way you look, everything, and I really want to thank you for sharing that with your people. I want to shout out your family, your supporters, because I've been just inspired by that. Like when the troops get behind an artist, oh man, I just love it. It's just been beautiful to watch. What's the evolution from that first kind of record till Slip?
There's so many micro evolutions that accompanied that development. One being when I released Neverland Fly, that was a very early stage for me as someone to even know how to handle the mic, to approach the studio, And so I was sloppy. The song came out beautiful, but I was sloppy, I was reckless, and I was just clawing to get a single out. And I just
You were hungry. Sorry to cut you off. You were hungry. You're still hungry. And that's what I love.
Oh, for sure. The hunger remains. I didn't know exactly how to channel it then. And so the song at the point in time when I released it was my first announcement of myself to the streaming world. Like, hey, I could sing, I can rap, there's meaning, and it's a vibe, right? But even after I released Neverland Fly or any of my other songs up until Slip, I always felt like there was something missing. Like, I always felt like I wasn't fully able to get exactly what I wanted in audio format for people, of my own fault, because I wasn't able to deliver it. And I think the evolution that has happened between then and now has been multifold. So there's been me trying every day to evolve as a person. And thank God I've had some time to reflect on what kind of artist I want to be, because I don't just want to be popular. I want to be true to myself. And so I've really come to realize since Neverland Fly, okay, you're not just a rapper, you're a singer, and more people will connect with your singing than your rapping. And so you don't abandon your rapping ever, but you don't run away from your singing at the same time. That was a balance I struggled with in Neverland Fly. And I think in Slip, I'm getting a lot closer to that true balance of, hey, hip hop heads, I got you. But also if you're not a hip hop head, this song is not exclusive.
I think, yeah. No, I mean, that's beautiful that you say that. I'm not a big fan of putting people in a box anyway, especially right now in the past kind of 4 or 5 years. I really agree with you. I see what you're coming from and I see what you're saying. But Anis, I hope you allow us in that stage of your life. Last year, was it last year? Or like when you went through that very, very tough time with your vocal, chords, if you can just explain to us just exactly what happened, because I know that there was a video of you explaining what happened with you, and then obviously, you went through it, and then I've sent that video to so many people, and they were so inspired. But but it's not as easy as a 1 minute video. Like it's just your life. What are the downtime that you went through? How did the family help? Because at one point you felt like, oh, is he gonna be able to get back to this? Because I really needed some Anis in my life. Like I'm just saying, what? So tell me about that part. And God bless you, my brother. Allah yahmeek, diamond.
So it's so hard to explain in short form, but in August, I realized that my throat was hurting.
Yeah.
And anytime I would sing or rap, I would experience sharp pain. I thought, okay, I just have a sore throat. I'll get over it. A couple of weeks passed, nothing. Like I had no healing. I took a month, almost 2 months off speaking entirely.
Wow.
And I thought for sure at the end of that, I will be healed, but I wasn't. So I went and I saw maybe 10, 15 different doctors, specialists, ENTs, endocrinologists, gastroenterologists, all different types of doctors, trying to figure out what's the cause of this. How do I heal? Well, I think, thank God I didn't heal for 8 months or 6 months, because if my recovery had been quick, I wouldn't have learned any lessons. And I would have gone right back to the same behavior that got me injured in the first place, which was this fear-driven, reckless, boom, 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 go, go, go. You can't stop. If you stop, social media will stop loving you. Your career will die. But in those 6 months where I was handcuffed, hands behind my back, you got to chill. I had to reflect on things. I had to have conversations with my wife about these fears of mine. I had to reconcile about, okay, what is it that I'm afraid of? Why do I think I need to post all the time? What would happen to me if I could never perform again?
Wow.
And, everybody, what is that?
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying everybody was so supportive. Not just my wife or my parents or my siblings or my best friends, but even on social media, which I consider to be my community and my extended family, people didn't turn their back on me at all. They, especially you, didn't turn your back on me at all, and you believed that the time would come where, okay, maybe we thought we'd get more music from him sooner, but we're gonna ride with him until we're back.
Habibi, my brother. La wallah, you were able to impact, brother man. Look, I'm in Dubai right now. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Your impact has reached Saudi Arabia, reached at least the UAE, reached the Middle East in an incredible way. I got people out of Lebanon saying, like, do you know this? When people send you stuff, like people that I know send me, hey, do you know this guy? I'm like, I know Anis, man, alhamdulillah, but you wouldn't see that coming. And that's how you've reached even outside your circle. Which is, let's say, America, and even America is such a huge place. But God bless you, my brother. Thank you for sharing that. What was the most difficult thing that you had to go through? And did you find was there a moment where you were nearly, like, I'm sorry to say that, giving up in terms of like, khalas, you're a human being and you're like 6 months with that? Or did you know that you're going to get better? Did you always see that? Because all these questions that you ask right now is very valid questions, and a lot of people might watch this, and you don't have to be an artist. What if you go through something and then you always relate, oh, if I don't post, people will forget me. I will not be loved anymore. And if I come back, will people remember me? All these questions.
I think maybe the most difficult part of it, for me was that it's so hard as a human to not expect, period. Because we expect so many things to be given: our health, our opportunity, our safety, our ability to use our voice, our ability to see, our ability to, certain people will stay in our lives. And my voice has always been my strength, even when other things failed me. And so I think losing, just being separated from my voice felt like I was, the hardest part was not being able to freestyle. The hardest part was not being able to freestyle, because freestyling is therapy for me. And so when I was separated from my voice and my ability to freestyle, it felt like a part of me was torn out. And I had no concrete time period to expect. When am I, it's like someone goes away for 6 months. It's like, I really miss them, but I know they'll be back in August, right? But this felt like one of my most favorite things in life was ripped from me without any guarantees. I just had to believe. I just had to have faith, like one day we'll get over this.
It's amazing you say that, because I was talking to a friend of mine about you the other day, and I said freestyling for Anis is like the only constant thing, if that makes any sense. It was that. And when that was taken away, I feel it disturbs anyone. Like for me, I'm a radio guy. You take that off from me, I don't know what I'll do. It's always been, I get you, but alhamdulillah, you were able to pass through it. And recently, I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I don't know, you went on and you made us all, you went through to see the doctor, and he told you that alhamdulillah, everything is, how are you feeling right now? Like, where are you now?
So the same doctor who told me, who gave me my real diagnosis, said, hey, you're healing. He gave me a diagnosis 3 months ago. He said, hey, you're healing. And by August, you should be fully healed. I saw him again a few weeks ago, and he told me that everything's looking good according to plan. So on a mental level, that was definitely very relieving to hear, very reassuring. But I could be honest with you, I still feel the pain. Even right now, as we're doing this, I feel rawness, I feel tenderness. It's
the same pain you used to feel before? Way less.
Not as bad, but it's still
wow.
So the laryngeal nerve is from what I've been told, it heals one inch every month, and it's about 9 inches long. And so I think I'm almost at the point where maybe the pain will go away, or be way less. But yeah, when the doctor gave me the diagnosis, I was in that place where it's like, okay, mentally I'm good, and physically I'll get there.
Habibi, wallah, I won't make this long on you. I feel bad, but I don't want you to be in any pain, my brother. A couple more questions.
Hey, listen, every moment of a conversation with you is a blessing. So
oh, man.
I'll take every second I can get.
Listen, a couple of hip hop questions for you. You talked about freestyling. Who are some of the people that inspire your freestyling? Because there's a couple of names I really love. I don't want to see if you either had a conversation with them or you look up to in terms of because freestyling is an incredible art that, mashallah alaik, you're so cool at it, very entertaining, really talented. But who are some people that inspired you?
So, there's only few people who I really can tell go off the top, truly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people call it a freestyle, but it's a written, or it's like, it's mostly written and they improvise in between. But there's a few people who really, truly go off the top, right?
Fact.
Now, maybe the greatest of all time, perhaps, is like Mos Def. And, and Mos Def is, just so fluid with it, so smooth with it. And that's the coolest thing about his freestyle ability, is that he, it's natural.
Yasin Bey is incredible, bro. Like he is, You're right. Absolutely, man. He's somebody, yeah. Who else?
Next level. All right, now I'm going to skip one person so we can talk about him later. And I'm going to talk about someone who I know you love, who I also admire deeply, which is Harry Mack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know Harry Mack. He's true off the top. And the way he delivers so constantly for people on Twitch and Instagram and TikTok, he's the type of guy where, you see interviews of him in the he'll be on a radio show and be surprised someone brings Kendrick Lamar in the studio.
Yeah.
That's pressure.
Yeah, that's pressure.
And I've seen him deliver off the top in those environments. And I am inspired by that because I know that my superpower is freestyling. So when I'm in the room with Kendrick Lamar, when I'm in the room with J. Cole, when I'm in the room with whomever, that's the type of poise that I know I need to have, the type of poise that Harry Mack shows.
You ever met Harry?
No.
I think you guys, we definitely need that freestyle like that. A freestyle battle. Yeah. Who else?
All right. Now here's my favorite freestyler of all time. Los. King Los.
Oh, King Los. Oh, I saw that coming. Okay. Yeah. He's mad. Yeah.
He is supernatural with the freestyles. Creative. I mean, he is, I say supernatural, which is funny because it makes me of also MC Supernatural, who's another iconic freestyler.
Fact.
But so respect it to the GOATs as well. But Los, for me, I found him on Dat Piff in 2008.
Wow.
Or maybe 2007, casually scrolling for mixtapes. And I was so amazed by his music, right? And so I would follow him since I was a kid. And I would come to look him up on YouTube and see, the way he would attack Five Fingers of Death, the way he would attack Sway in the Morning. Not even just the radio shows, but the way he would attack. He'll be in a room with his boys and someone's recording, and he'll just have the whole entire room, 15 dudes throw random words at him, because it's easy. A lot of people fake it. They're like, my girl's gonna throw me 3 words and I'm gonna, it's like, what the 3 words are. Los has people hitting them from every single angle. Hard words, multisyllabic words, words that barely even rhyme with anything. And yet he's able to not only freestyle with these words, but this is the best thing about Los. He's able to string together coherent and cunning lyrics in freestyle form. Like, he's able to really craft a lyric, not just make a rhyme, but like his freestyles could be better as verses than 90% of rappers. And so
actually, yeah, that's how lethal it is. Yeah, it's
lethal. And Los is probably, I kind of get emotional thinking about it, but I haven't really thought about this much, but he's probably responsible for a lot of the biggest blessings in my life, because I was inspired to freestyle by him. And then, freestyling is my therapy. So,
man. That's
Los, if you ever watch this, man, thank you.
We'll definitely have that reach out to a good friend of ours. I'm not sure if you know him, Saud. He's an amazing producer. He has actually done a record with Los, and but that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's really remarkable. My next question for hip hop is, obviously with rap, there is this big thing with rap and lists, like top 50 and top 10 and whatever.
Oh God,
not a big fan of that, but I just want to know from you, who are like some of the rappers that that inspired you, and who is on top of that list? Like, who's your top 5 without any order?
I appreciate that. I appreciate you not making me structure it.
No.
I'm just gonna go off the top of my mind, whoever comes to me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can see Anis next time and he'll give you a different 5. That's the kind of energy, it's all good. This is today. We're talking April 20th, 12:20 a.m. Dubai time.
Right. And I apologize if these are the same people that I said when we did our Revolt interview, but it's just the people who come to my mind today. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill comes to mind because she is maybe the greatest example ever of rapping and singing in one package, and also spirituality and music, where hip hop meets scripture, turning negativity to a positive picture. So that's Lauryn Hill. For me, Mac Miller, that's somebody whose music,
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to one of the greatest of all time, and just one of the purest people. I really wish I could have met him, because I don't so much in his music that speaks to me.
I think he would have crazily enjoyed the kind of content that you put up. But yeah, God rest his soul in peace.
I could only hope. And so those two, let's go with, I'm not going to name anybody who I already mentioned in freestyling, just to go with a new stretch. Let's go with, I know I said this in our last interview, but let's say Immortal Technique.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. We got to say more. I love the fact that, that's why you're diverse. You just mentioned, obviously now, Lauryn Hill with Mac Miller and Immortal Technique is such a diverse way so far of that. And these are all incredible people, with Immortal Technique. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, I was fed a balanced diet of hip hop growing up. And so, there's the softer one, the more melodic one, and the more, hard hitting one. And Immortal Technique for me, man, you're making me think about my childhood now, and it's definitely emotional. So when I think about the impact of his music in my life, I think about someone who taught me something so much bigger than music. Immortal Technique taught me how to question things, to be a critical thinker, to be skeptical, because we live in a world where not everything is what you see. and not everything you're told is true. And you have to oftentimes do the research yourself to know what's going on in your life, whether it was my healing journey or my outlook on positivity or anything that matters to me in my life. The way I found my wife, my mind was equipped for those moments, in large part based on the influence of Immortal Technique's brashness, Immortal Technique's unabashed, assault on what we're told. And so, yeah, Immortal Technique played a huge role.
Incredible description of the brother. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, wow. Okay, cool. I'm excited to find out. Last two.
I don't know how you're about to make me pick two, but okay. I'm just trying to think of who I've been listening to, and maybe I can just go with recency, so that way I'll cop my way out of this answer. Let's go with Kanye.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
And I say Kanye because he's just one of the greatest of all time on so many levels. Rapping, songwriting, production, everything. And there's something about his music that makes me want to expand and makes me want to dive deeper into my capabilities. And there's this confidence in his music that I think the world needs. We need, people suffer from a lack of confidence in themselves. And Kanye's music is so confident and so, I mean, maybe some would say too confident, but that's not for anybody to say, whatever is the right level of confidence is for you to decide. And, so that's why I love Kanye's music, is it's
I think personally for me, it's an artist with Kanye, like always, whoever's watching this, always people have an opinion about what Kanye does. I love how you said it though, like what you take from him, as a young, obviously, artist yourself, you try to get all the people, like I love basketball, and you talk to a lot of people who play basketball, they try to take 1, 2, 3 and find out who they are, which is really remarkable. Cool. Yes. Okay. These are incredible names. One last one.
I got the last one.
Okay.
And I got it while you were responding to what I was saying. You sparked my thought, and I couldn't possibly answer anybody but DMX.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Man. I don't know, man. DMX impacted a lot of rappers. Like people started rapping because of DMX. What did DMX mean to you? Like, obviously rest in peace now, but in what way? What was it about, voice, energy, topics?
So many things, man. I'm gonna take some water, calm myself down before I answer this.
Yeah, of course.
There's something about, I know I'm gonna break down while I answer this. Give me a second.
God bless, brother.
So like we were talking about Kanye's confidence, whatever confidence Kanye had, there's just as much, if not more, in DMX's music. And there's so much rawness and tenderness in his music.
Wow.
And I'm gonna keep it cool.
So good, man. I mean, a lot of people would see, yeah, man, it's because these people, you have you ever met DMX?
No, I wish, man. I wish.
And like you're having these feelings, and it's okay, because I think people don't understand, especially if you're an artist yourself, impacting you the way you are and you're living your life right now as an artist, being inspired by people like that, how he or she impacted your life. So you feel like you know them, you feel like you know them through the music.
Absolutely. And especially for me as someone, I'm a very misunderstood person a lot of times, because I can be very brash at times. I can be very forward, very direct, and I'm not afraid of what people think about me. So a lot of times there's times where I just am who I am, and you can take from it what you want. And sometimes that leaves room to misinterpret me, which is fine, because who cares? What someone's perception of me is their life, and I don't worry about that. Yeah. But there's this quality in DMX's music where he was a dog, right? I mean, he was a dog. Like he was such a beast, such a
Force. Yeah.
force to be reckoned with. And yet at the same time, you could still feel this tenderness.
Yeah.
And
like he was I love the way you described every single MC and every single artist that you mashallah alaik, and thank you so much for that, man. That was really incredible to hear, and
I tried to keep it together for you, man. It's just when I think of DMX, it's tough just because of there's so much. He got me through dark times.
Yeah, I think I would say the same. As a kid who's been in Saudi Arabia, one of the most conservative countries in the world, DMX got me through also my share. I would say, with that, when you used to buy tapes and stuff like that, it was I totally feel you. Basketball and Anis. Now, how I posted a picture of me wearing a basketball. You were the only comment that made sense. You talked about that basketball had
the right amount of wear on it, man.
Yeah, that's somebody that plays. So basketball, is it also an important part of your life? Because I happen to believe basketball is life. So what did basketball play in Anis's life? Oh
man, yeah. God, him. You are really finding ways to hit the soft points.
God bless. That's why people love you, man, because you're that guy, bro. You don't understand. When we see you, we kind of also break down in our way, and how we are, and the people that follow you, my brother. So basketball for me is definitely life. It saved me from a lot of things, and it's the only kind of constant thing. Although I don't play a lot, but I just love it. Every time I'm on the court, I'm there.
Oh, it's funny when you start talking about basketball. It's like I was thinking of the impact it's had on me as a viewer, as a spectator, as a fan. But then I realized that basketball, especially as of late, and especially as a child, has meant so much more to me than just as a fan, but as a participant. Basketball for me taught me a lot of things. As a kid, I played, and I was never the best player on the court. I was never the quickest, never the best with handles, never had the best shot, never the best.
Look at
no,
that.
Never.
That guy's
never,
been
never.
scoring 3 points of half court and say swipe up to pre-save that stuff. Come on, my brother. Yo,
I've gotten a lot better.
How many tries have you tried that? Before you?
More than you would want to know. But but I'm actually the best I've ever been at basketball right now.
Okay.
But as a kid, there wasn't a lot of polish in my game. There wasn't a lot of skill. I was rough, but I was also full of heart. I'm the dude that was gonna fly out of bounds like Dennis Rodman to save the ball, even if we were up 8 with 2 minutes left, because
nice.
Because that's what you do.
I'd like you to be on my team. I like players like that. This is that's dope, bro. We gotta play one.
Oh, dude, absolutely, brother. Whenever I'm there or you're here, we're balling. And
facts.
And having heart, to me, I learned a lot about having heart in basketball. And all of this is so cyclical because my heart is what makes my music possible. My heart is what made me getting through that injury. It's crazy. You're connecting all the dots for me. I'm coming away with life lessons in this moment. But that heart, a lot of it started with basketball. Because I'll never let me connect it for you. I'll never be the best rapper. I'll never be the best singer. I'll never be the best anything. And I was never the best at any of the skill sets in basketball. But I was always the one that wanted it most. And I was always the one that was willing to go the furthest, no matter what the score was, no matter who was on my team. I will put everything on the court. And that's the same thing I'm doing in my music right now. And it's making me realize this now. I feel like I'm that same 11-year-old kid.
Yeah. No, facts, Anis. And I think it's no brainer. You said it. It's no brainer not to appreciate the kind of music and how you're doing it. It's not even about that. It's the the it's how the journey, the process, how you're making us all feel. And you know, if you're human, you'd feel that, you connect with that. Yes, many people, or so many, you know, like few people might not connect with the music, and that's cool. That's okay. You know, music is subjective, but they would connect with how you are in your mashallah daily life. And I gotta bring this up. It was, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning here. I don't know when that happened. I'm watching NBA, and I see Anis's live. I'm like, okay, Anis live. Okay, oh, okay, cool. And then Justin Bieber. I swear to God, man, I think I messaged you. I was like, Anis, man, what kind of filter you're using? Like, what is that? Like, what that's a cool filter. Like, what? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? And then I had to go to even Justin Bieber's account just to make sure, like, oh my God, wow.
It's real. Yeah.
That's real. And obviously that happened. And then I watched the whole thing, and you were freestyling in your car. That moment when, by the way, that moment when Justin Bieber went live with you, it really impacted me a lot because of how he was talking to you. You don't understand. I'm pretty sure you get that, but like the way you guys were talking, you were talking as if you were like talking about life, yeah. And it was just, yo, that's Justin Bieber, like one of the biggest stars on the planet. And I love what he said about, you know, he made you repeat the song, and he said about everyone needs to hear this. It was just incredible. I want to know from you, did you see that coming? And when that happened, what went through your mind? Because you remain collected. Like you remain. If that have happened to me, I don't know.
Everybody's been saying that. Yeah, you stayed cool, calm, and collected. But I don't know. No, I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
I mean, yes and no, because on one level, I have a delusional level of belief in myself that anything I want to do is possible. So yes, I've never thought it was impossible for me to collaborate with Justin Bieber. I've never thought it was impossible for me to get to know him. I never thought that was impossible. But did I see it coming? No. And because that's just not how life works. Like, you know, I was busy freestyling on live like I do every single night.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just doing my thing. I've been doing that for 2 years now. And it's special. It's extremely special to me to think that, like, when I go live with my community online, on social media, that's our place.
Yes.
That's our open mic. That's our arena. Like, that's our coffee shop. That's our poetry. And so I've been doing that, sharing that experience with people for 2 years now. Some of these people have been with me from day one. And so like this has been something that's become a part of their life.
And shout out to them.
And shout out to those day ones. And it's been equally as much a part of my life. Like when I was not able to go live and freestyle, you asked like, what was the toughest part of my injury? That was one of the toughest parts, is I was not able to go live with my community. And that felt like that was ripped from me. So to think to myself that, to those people who stay with me every night and come live with me almost every single night, like to think that we were able to get the biggest artist in the world to join us one night, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And at the same time, it makes sense because God is good. And you know, when you have that, when you believe that anything is possible, you see that it is. And so, yeah, like I know I didn't see it coming. And when he started gassing me up in the comments, like, I think people, they give me so much credit saying, yeah, you stayed composed, but to be real with you, like he left no other option. Like,
I know, but I mean, even like, bro, I go live with, it's not about that, but like, it's you remain, like he came on and you were like vibing. You did the song twice. I don't know. I would forget the lyrics. I'm just saying, like,
but he made it so comfortable. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing. And this is such a beautiful thing. The world is so much smaller than we think, right? Because Justin Bieber is the greatest artist in the world, number one, right? And beyond that, he's one of my favorite artists of all time, period. Like, even if I wasn't an artist, as a fan. But despite how big he is, and despite how, you know, I'm just your average everyday guy, we were able to get into the same room and connect as if we were brothers, because the world is not as big as we think it is. And humans are so much more connected than we realize they are, and we all connect on different things. So for you and me, it might be music and basketball and so many other things. I'm sure we probably connect on a million things, but we've talked about music and basketball.
Fact.
And for me and Justin, it was faith and love.
Yeah.
And so
it just, Anis, for me, it restored a lot of things for me. I'm not a big fan of the music industry generally, like the industry of it. Him saying that and what he went through, this is a, tier A artist. Like this is, you can't get bigger than that. Him like just chilling and saying, hey, my wife is on the couch, we're listening to you. Like what? For me, it just really, and it happened to one of us, like you, which we, in the Haggana, you're with us. And it's just, wow, it really was a big shift. What's the sort of feedback you got after this live from the people with you in the car? There were a couple of people with you in the car, friends of yours?
Yeah, so man, you really bring in all the emotional parts. So in shotgun was my best friend Yusuf. And in the backseat was his brother and my other best friend Issa.
Issa, the video, right?
Yeah, my media director.
Love him.
He makes everything possible.
Love
so Issa is like the number one. Not everybody can be number one. I'm number one believer in myself. My wife's number one believer in myself. But if we can have multiple number ones, Issa is the number one believer. He has been listening to my music. He knows every word to every song.
Yeah,
even the ones I haven't released. He knows every words to freestyles I dropped in 2019. And Yusuf is also one of my number one believers because he's one of those guys that.
God bless, man.
From I'm gonna keep it cool. From day one, both of those guys have believed in me.
Amazing. God bless them, and a salute to them.
Before the music. And my brother, Salim, and my siblings and my parents, they've all believed in me from day one. And so, what was crazy is they weren't like, we obviously got off the live and like we were pretty gassed up, but like they all like, one thing that they said, they were like, they expect this. Like they know this is coming.
Amazing.
Like this is not, we're not celebrating this like, oh, that's the biggest achievement that's ever gonna happen. Like they know that like they believe in the power of what we're doing. And so when moments like that happen, we all take it as an affirmation that we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Not that we reached our destination.
Wow.
And so, one of the main things people were saying was like, and this has really shocked me. Like someone brought this up to me and who was it that brought it up to me? I wish I could give them credit if I could think of who it was. Give me a second. I'm so sorry to whoever brought this up because I can't remember which one of you it was. But someone told me, they were like, Anis, and if it was you, then shout out to you. But someone told me, they were like, Anis, he didn't just listen to your music and gas you up. Like Justin Bieber brought you into an intimate space. He brought you into his room with his wife, like in his zone. And to connect this to your question, like that's what my live is. My live is my intimate space with my best friends, with my community. It just goes to show, if you're willing to bear of yourself for the world will open up to you. And that's what Justin Bieber has always done in his music. I mean, if you look at his album, like Justice, like look at Hold On, Anyone, Off My Face, Deserve You. Like there's so many songs where he's bearing his soul and opening up, Lonely. And people are, because of that, they feel so intrinsically tied to him, and he is such a pivotal player in their life. And it's really awesome to see that I was able to bring him into my intimate space and he was able to bring me into his. But those best friends, Yusuf and Issa, and my brother Salim and my wife, they've been in that intimate space with me from 2007 when we were freestyling around bonfires while I was getting back from Domino's delivery at 1 a.m. with pizza grease on my hands. And, we're freestyling, till 4 a.m. Like that intimate space has existed for a long time for me. And it's growing. And I want to offer it to the whole world. But it starts with, your day one homies.
I love that you say that, man. Seriously, your story is, but yeah, man, wallah, I don't know what to say, man, but like you deserve everything great. Even after that, I mean, shout out to Justin because he really, so you can see even the amount of following comes through. Did you feel pressure afterwards to start doing certain content different way?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes. Not and I haven't told this to anyone because I try to play it cool, but like, how can you not, you know, like when you gain 10,000 followers in 20 minutes, like that took me 2 years. It took me from like 2018 to 2020 to get to 10,000. So to see that happen on my page in 20 minutes, like, yeah, after that, the next day I had anxiety because I was like, man, like a lot of new people here. Yeah. I got to feed them to the Anis experience. And guess what? To be honest with you, I wasn't feeling it that next day. And so I had to remind myself, like, Anis, relax. These are not
incredible, the amount of inner power that you have. It's inspiring me, my brother. Like, it's just fantastic, my brother. I really want to thank you for your time. And again, mad love and respect for you for all that. Let's talk about Slip real quick, because I think for me, Slip, what a record. Congratulations, by the way. I love it. Very, it's how do I say this? It's a record. For me, to be honest, it grew on me. Like when I'm hearing it in the car, when I'm hearing it, I heard it playing basketball. I heard it a couple of times in the studio, and it was just every single time it was like and tell me about the story of Slip. When did you start writing it? And also, I want to know that, I know when we talked, you said you had 12, 13 singles ready. Obviously, you went through what you went through, and now where are you in terms of that? So Slip, first of all, how long did it take you to write? Was it ready before? Tell me about Slip.
It started as a freestyle, maybe a year and a couple months ago. I freestyled it. It was a full freestyle, like a couple days. I freestyled it. I got it done. Then I took the pen to paper.
The whole track is a freestyle?
Everything in the track started as a freestyle, for sure.
Okay.
And so I took my pen and refined, okay, maybe the chorus needs this instead of that, but really the structure of the song was freestyle. And so I actually had it read. I mean, the song was pretty much done a year ago, but it was so special to me that I didn't want to release it until I felt that it was ready. And then obviously I went through my injury, which delayed everything. If I would have had it my way, that song would have been out in August, but it came out in April. And so of the next year. And so, it was a special song, and I'm very happy to have it out now. The next couple songs, I told you I had 12 or 13. Yeah. A lot of those songs have naturally fallen into the list of songs that I will never release, which I think is fine. Yeah. I think it's fine. As an artist, you have to realize that not every song you write is going to be something you release. And so I feel like that's an evolution point for me, because it used to be no, if I wrote it and it got good engagement on Instagram, it's going on Spotify. Yeah. And now it's no, I want to tell a story with my music. Slip is our love story. It's the story of me and my wife. It's not the full story of me and her. And I could write a catalog of songs about love. God bless you both. Her, but it's the story of me making sure I'm not going to let this person slip out of my life, right? And so I want to tell a story with every song. And some of those songs I told you in the past, I don't think they tell the story I want to tell. And so I'm constantly trying to get songs across the finish line that together can be a page in my book. It's like in The Prophet, to bring this back full circle, Khalil Gibran talks about love, children, faith, right? It's I want my songs to be likewise. They won't all be their own chapter, but Slip and my next song, Love is Crazy, are going to be 2 pages in the chapter on love. Okay. Wow. And while we're talking about this, by the way, I just had a breakthrough moment in my head. I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to have chapters, and the songs are going to be pages. So this is an idea I just created, and we're going to release it one day, and it'll be thanks to you. Nice.
That's actually perfect. So next, did you announce this? The next single? What's it called? Love is Crazy. Love is Crazy. And when is this out? Obviously we're in the holy month of Ramadan now. Are you going to be releasing it in the next couple of months or less?
I'm going to release it in May. And so I don't know.
Next month. Let's go.
Yeah. And so I don't know when, and it's really going to depend on when it gets finished. And so but I'd like to release it in May, and I'd like to follow up shortly thereafter with Drunk on Myself, which is a self-love anthem. And then from there, I got maybe like 6 more I want to drop this summer. I really want this summer to be the full rollout of my first, track list, 10 songs. It's like, I want people by the time that the fall air starts, greeting us, I want people to have 10 to 12 in each songs, where it's like, if they want to go on a road trip, maybe for an hour, they could click on me and I could be with them the whole time.
Amazing. I love that. And he's talking to you is incredible. I feel like I know you for quite some time. You have the, and it's amazing, the energy that the you talk about the green and you go like, what is this guy talking about? But he makes so much sense. It's incredible. No, seriously. And then you have a discussion like that on Zoom and you go like, wow. Okay, a couple more questions and then I'll promise to let you go. But it's been amazing talking to you. How do you deal with criticism / sorry, I gotta use the word, maybe hate? Do you get that? And what sort of, because a lot of people use this, phone and they're cowards in my opinion, because they wouldn't say that to your face, I'm pretty sure. And they were like, tuck, 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 tuck. And then, because, you work on a record, 3-4 minutes, that takes you 6-7 months, and then you drop it. And then all of a sudden you got a guy saying it's trash or whatever. Like you didn't even listen to it, right?
That's crazy.
How do you deal with that part of, because you're such a positive force, do you even see that? Do you give that attention to those people?
There's so many things to speak about when it comes to hate, especially on social media. I used to be more sensitive to it. In the beginning, when I was less secure in myself as an artist, if someone were to come on my page and be like, you sound like this guy, your flow is copying this person, you're a this person wannabe, it used to get me down for like almost a week. Like for a whole week, it would linger with me like, damn, like I start questioning, like, do I sound like them? Am I copying them? I wasn't sure of myself. And so when those criticisms would come my way, that when that hate would come my way, it would linger like a cloud for maybe 6-7 days. My thing got thicker the better I got at my craft, where it's like it lingered with me for 3 days, 1 day, an hour, 30 minutes, 2 seconds, not at all.
Wow.
And right now I'm at a point where the hate doesn't faze me, and for 2 main reasons. One, well, when I say the hate doesn't faze me, that doesn't mean that it doesn't sometimes bother me, but it doesn't get me down. And it
doesn't make you fumble.
No, and here's why.
Yeah.
And the big reason is 2. One, if you're relying on other people believing in you for you to believe in yourself, you're on very thin ice, because the moment someone comes through with hate and pokes through that ice, you're gonna fall. And the moment someone questions anything about you, if you're relying on other people's belief in you, then if they don't believe in you, then you don't believe in you. If my belief depends on your belief, and then you stop believing, I'm screwed. And so, there's gonna be people who are gonna come through, but you gotta believe in yourself first. And then you have to realize this, and this is the biggest thing I tell people, because this is not the first time I've been asked this question. And I have fellow friends who are artists, content creators, TikTokers, who have come to me about this just as a friend. And I always tell them this, look, hurt people hurt people. I learned this from my best friend, Jason. Shout out Jason, he knows who he is, Jason Katniss. Hurt people hurt people. So this means that if someone is trying to hurt you, it's because they are hurt. If someone is throwing hate at you, they're projecting hate they have in their own heart for themselves. And so you have to see it that way. It's never about you. If someone comes on my page and says trash or, so-and-so wannabe, what's really happening is they think lowly of themselves, and they're projecting that emotion onto me because misery loves company. And so instead of letting it get me down and being like, screw that guy, no, I actually love that person. And I feel bad for that person because they're going through some shit right now. And I love them. And I hope and I pray that they are healed from whatever is making them project like this. Because at the end of the day, that's a very miserable way to live. Yeah. Like even not just my music, like, you asked me the evolution of my style. Like I've been wearing the mustache for maybe 6 straight months, maybe longer now. Yeah. And I like wearing a mustache. I like the way it looks on me. It's something I dig. But there's
super dope.
And most people on social media are supportive, but there are some people who come through in the comments and say really weird, sick, twisted things about my mustache, about my appearance, right? Like
Really?
about the way I look. Just if not too many, but they'll say, you know, I don't want to say what they'll say because I don't want to give energy to it. But the point I'm trying to say is when they're doing that, I realize they don't like the way they look. And they're seeing me and I have the confidence to wear a mustache, and that must trigger them. And instead of me being like, yeah, you know what, screw that person, they're triggered. No, I literally, my heart feels for that person because they're not comfortable in their own skin. And what a trap that is, because our body is the only one we get. Our hair, our eyes, our lips, our teeth, our fingers, these are the ones we have that were given to us by God. We're to love them.
Yeah.
And so if somebody doesn't love their temple and they want to project that at me, I cannot see that. I cannot be selfish enough to see that as an attack on me. It's a cry for help. They are trying.
I mean, I love that
you know?
you said that. Yeah, definitely. But was that easy to get to? Like, I mean, definitely not easy. The fact that you went through it like that from 7 days, 8 days to now, I salute you for that. I just want to say salute to you because I think a lot of people, you know, everybody will go through their journey with that. Okay, now my final question is, and again, you guys, please follow the brother. He's just incredible. I can't wait to find out what he does. In terms of politics, you're Palestinian Lebanese. You're based in America. It's like the whole area is saturated with a lot of politics, and you address it sometimes in your music when it comes to, you know, obviously, you know, just, you know, racism and social issues, community issues. Is that something that is in Anis's mind as well, to discuss and tackle such topics, heavy topics that maybe people are kind of sick of right now with everything that's going on?
Yes, always. You know, we can never be too privileged. We can never let ourselves get too. I'm privileged for sure. You know, I grew up in a safe, healthy, loving environment. I didn't want for food. I didn't want for clothing, shelter, none of it. So I'm privileged, and there's a lot of people who aren't. And I cannot sit here and answer your question and say, no, politics aren't for me. You know, I'd rather just talk about good vibes. No, because I'm a human, and other people are humans. And there's Palestinians in refugee camps that are suffering. And there's homeless people in the nation's capital who sleep on the ground in the cold and tents. You know, there are, you know, members of all different types of marginalized communities, whether it's because of their skin color, their sexual orientation, their religion, whatever, who don't have the privileges I have. And so because of that, I need to be attentive to these issues. Even if I'm not going to make every song about it, even if I make no songs about it, my music doesn't have to be about the plight of Palestinians. My music doesn't have to be about combating homelessness or, you know, civil rights for minorities. But I need to find a way with the influence that I'm amassing to serve these communities, whether that's going to come in a foundation I'll build, or in donations I make, or in sharing things on my story, or, you know, the efforts I will make as an activist, because I am always going to be an activist.
Wow.
That being said, this is where it gets tricky, because a lot of people don't understand this, and a lot of people don't respect what I'm about to say. Some people will message me, be like, hey, use your platform, send this message, use your platform, send this message. And I don't like it when people say that, because to me, everybody has their own plan for what they want to do for the world. My plan involves this. I'm going to amass influence. And I'll put this out here online. I don't care who sees it. I'm going to amass influence, and I'm going to use that influence to better the world, period. Whether that's marginalized communities here in America, in the Middle East, in Latin America, wherever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it my whole life. And so, and I'm going to make waves. I'm going to invite people to make waves with me. And so, a part of that amassing of influence means I cannot exclude people from my message. And so that doesn't mean I'm going to cater to everybody and I'm going to, you know, contour my lyrics so that nobody can be offended or triggered. No, but I'm not going to be overtly political in my music or even my social media presence, because I think it's better for me. If you really want me to help you, let me get to a point where I can really help you. Let me get to a point. Let me build my brand. Let me build
You're
myself.
empowering yourself more.
So that I can really help you, not just, send a link. Let me get to a point where I can make some real change.
Impact and change.
And part of that is making sure my music is accessible to the whole. I want people, like for instance, there's a concept of preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to preach to the choir. The people who already know what's up, they know what's up. And I know they know what's up. They know I know what's up. I'm trying to have people become fans of Anis and join my community that have different views, that don't believe what we believe.
That's how you change the world.
Exactly. And so I can't be preaching to the choir and excluding those people. I want to invite them in. You attract more bees with honey than vinegar. I want to bring people in, and then when they come here, they'll know what's up.
It's impossible not to love you, my brother. Seriously.
You as well, Haas. You as well.
Wallah, man. I swear to God. It's just the energy is incredible. One last question.
Bro. I'm here all day.
If there's one message that you received, I know you get a lot of messages, maybe a message that you can share with us, because a lot of people, find healing in the music that you do and how you do things as well. Is there a message that you can share with us? Someone that reached out and because for me, when you talk about what you just said right now, and for the past hour, we're talking, an artist's duty is also to reflect that environment or that community he or she is in, to be able to impact in a way, and you're doing it. We have a saying, an old Bedouin saying, I'll say it in Arabic and I'll translate it. الإنسان الذي لا أثر له لا حياة له. So a human being with no impact has no life. It's a very, very old Bedouin saying. And it doesn't matter the amount of impact. It's up to God to judge that. Your job on this earth to impact. And you, my brother Anis, I tell you this to your face, you've impacted many people, although you don't know you impacted these people. So have you, do you speak to people? Do you have these discussions on the DMs sometimes? Do you have that kind of relationship? If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, of course I want to talk about it. And that saying reminds me of Immortal Technique's lyric, the purpose of life is a life with a purpose.
Yeah.
So I'd rather live for a cause than I forget the end of it. So anyways, DMs, I used to respond to all of them when I could. I can't anymore. I still respond to a bunch of them, probably a lot more than I really even should in terms of budgeting my time. There's no one, to answer your question, there's no one particular message that stands out, because I could not possibly pick one. I've been sent very beautiful messages, supportive to me, but also very vulnerable messages sent to me. Hey, you've helped me with this, you've helped me with that.
How does that make you feel, like when you read these messages like that? Because it's like continuous.
It's very surreal, because social media is very difficult to have a real, true emotional experience with. Because like when I worked at summer camps growing up, if someone were to tell me I impacted them, I could see them, hug them, look into their eyes, and we share a communication that no words can convey, right? And so when it's over social media, it's very hard I probably need to do a better job when I get those messages, really taking a moment and letting it soak in and be like, wow, what does this mean? But the amalgamation of these messages always affirmed to me that, and this is a message I would share with anybody, if you're true to yourself and if you're authentic, maybe not everybody will rock with you, but you will connect with people and they will be better for it, because everybody has something that the world needs. And so whatever I have that the world needs, I'm trying to give it, and certain people are connecting with it. And it's a reaffirmation to me that I need to continue to give what I can give. And no matter if it's 1 million people or all 7.5 billion or 100 people, whoever it is will benefit from it. And that's what makes it possible for me. Artist is nobody without a community, especially an independent artist. And so those messages affirm to me that those messages are how I know I'm a success, not stream counts, not plaques, not follows, not cosigns. Those messages are the, like, I could quit today and already know that my career was a success, because you can look at my DMs.
Yeah, man. Shout out to your community, my brother, your family, your friends, the people who really showed love. early on. If you can collaborate with somebody right now, who would it be other than all the people you mentioned?
All right, if we're excluding everybody I've mentioned, then that makes the answer easier. Give me one moment to make sure I pick the right person. If I could collaborate with anybody right now, let's go with Chance the Rapper.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a spirituality in his music that I vibe with.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a balance in his style that I aspire to have in my own music.
Love that. And I want to shout you out, Anis, because you've been showing love to me. This is a selfish segment of the show. I want to say thank you for you, because the way you talk about me, the way you push me, the way you inspire me is incredible. I want to say thank you, my brother, and thank you so much for showing love to people of the community as well, whether it's the brothers, the Offendims, the Narcies, the Thanks Joeys. Of course, man, it's just really amazing to see that. And they have so much love and respect for you, of course. And I just wish I can see you guys rock on one stage one day, whether it's here or, I don't know, Canada, America, whatever, man, with this COVID obviously being done with. Listen, man, I'm thankful. It was a healing session for me personally. Thank you so much. And any last words you'd like to say, please go ahead, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on here. You say it's healing for you, it's healing for me. I shed tears multiple times while talking to you, and that's rare that I get to that point with my emotions where I have those breakthroughs. And so you asked me questions that made me think about things I need to be thinking about.
I'm happy for your success, brother, man. I'm happy for not even success, the way the energy is coming back to you and the people are that. And I wish you all the best. Shout out to your family, my brother. Always incredible. I know that you talk a lot about them in terms of what they mean and how supportive they are. I think that's very, very important. And hopefully we'll meet, inshallah, soon in the universe somehow, somewhere. Guys, this is Anis. This is his account. Go check him out. Go check out the video. Shout out to Isa on the video. I want to shout him out. Special shout out to Isa. And yeah, man, I have it's my dream to be on one of the videos sometimes with you, Anis. I want to be there.
We can make that dream a reality. It ain't even a thing. Yeah, I want you on the court. We'll get one. You know what I need? You know what I really need? I need a video where Big Haas drains a 3-point shot all net, turns around and says, "Swipe up, pre-save Anis's next single."
That needs, and Isa needs to we need to spend 10 hours maybe on the court for that 3 to come through. But love to you, my brother. Wishing you all the best. Guys, like and subscribe, and please follow the brother Anis and check out his latest. He's dropping new music in May, inshallah, and somebody who is already a hero in my eye. Thank you so much, Anis. Assalamu alaikum, man.
Love you, man.